So today I'm going to explain to you about lists in Python. So lists are basically a tray is a data type which is a table. It can store multiple values. So I will show you an example by declaring a list. So for example, I will declare a named list name maybe A. I will just give it, or let me name it YouTube. Okay, I'll just name it maybe as YouTube. And so this is an empty list, so we can add elements to the list by just specifying them inside it. So I'll just add a string, maybe I'll just type subscribe, and I will put like, comment, and share. So this has to be inside square brackets. Yes. So this is a list whose name is YouTube, which contains these values. So let's see. Let's print this list. Let's show it as an output. So I will just run this, and that's it. So you can see this same list is printed here, which contains 4 strings. We can also add different types of data in the list. For example, we can add a string, an integer, or anything. For example, I will just add maybe I will add some numbers. Let it be, for example, uh, 36 or 22, 21, 20. Let me also add a decimal number. So I will just add maybe 3.9, something like that. So these are, so let's see now by running it. So you can see it can store multiple values. This is a string as it contains a series of characters. It's a number, and this is a float as it contains a decimal number. So you can also do one thing, 1 minute. So we printed this. So you can also do one thing. You can declare lists inside lists. So for example, I'll just show you. So for example, I have made a list inside a list, and I will give some values, maybe 0 to something random. Let's say anything you can. I will and I will give one more list inside this case to show you that there is no limit. Let's print this, and you can see this is a list inside this list, and this is again a list inside the list. Okay, so this is basically about the very base. So this is basically how you can declare the list and add values to that. Now there are some methods also you can do. So let me just remove this because this may cause confusion. So there are some functions with lists. I will explain you them one by one. So what's this? Sorry. Yeah. So I will just now there is a function called append, which adds a value in the last index of the string. So I will just do, maybe I will append a value. I'll show you. For example, I want to add one more value to this. Let it be maybe Shreyas, which is my name. So okay, so I didn't tell it to print. So let me tell it to print. Okay. So you can see the Shreyas has been added. So this is the append function. And one more thing you can do, uh, you can call individual elements of the list, and you can print them or do anything with them. For example, uh, I want the I want the first index of the list and print it, meaning I want to, for maybe for example, I want to print subscribe. So I need to do print YouTube, which is the list name, square brackets, and 0. So 0 is the index. So in in Python it starts, the index starts with 0. For example, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0th value, this is the first value, this is the second value, this is the third value, and so on. So 0 means it will print the subscribe. Let's check what happens. So it has print subscribe. So now I told you about append function. It just adds value to the last of the list, any value. So there is one more thing, one more function which I will show you. It is extend function. So it's like this. So for example, in the extend function, if you give any string, then it will just separate the string. For example, I give Shreyas and it separated it to its characters. For example, Shreyas. So it separated that, and it added it in the last index of the YouTube. So it's like that. For example, I will just give one more example. I will append hello. I will append that one. So what is expected to happen? It will just separate this. For example, it will add H, then it will add E, then it will add L, then it will add L, and then it will add O. So I will just show you. So as you can see, print H, E, L, and O. Now what will happen if we give an integer? So you saw we can't append integer with it. We can append string. We can also this function can also be used to append lists. This function can also be used to add lists in a list. For example, I will just define another list and I will give the name maybe as Python, and I will give Google, maybe I will give one, I will give something random. So put it extend. Now you can see we can append, we can add multiple values at one go here in this list using this extend function. So it is mainly used to append multiple values. So it can yes, so you can, it is mainly used with lists and strings. In case of strings, it just separates them and adds it. In case of lists, it adds each value to it, to the YouTube list. So we have covered append, we have covered extend. Now let's see what insert does. So let me insert, and I will for example, I will just first show you. So let me add 4848, add this as integer, and I will. So this insert function accepts two parameters. So this is the index value and this is the value which is to be added. So this basically does that. It adds this value to the specified index, and it shifts it shifts all the remaining values to one side. For example, I added the 4848, this number, to the 0th index, so it was added over here, and all these things, all these um, and all the other values were shifted to the right side. So for example, if I give 2, so what is expected to happen is that it will add it over here. In the place of comment, this 4848 will come, and the comment will be shifted to another value. So basically the list will look like this. So the list will actually look like this. So it will add the 4848 to the second index, meaning the third value, and then it will shift these. So that's it. So I will remove this and I will show it to you. So there it is. So yeah, so you saw it added it in the second index, meaning the third value. It added 4848. So there is one more, there is dot remove, that is also a function. So the dot remove is used to remove is used to remove a value from the list. For example, let us remove, I will remove maybe comment, I will remove that. So I told it to remove comment, it removes the comment. Okay, so for example, let me tell it to here you go. It remove the this. So for example, I will just show you one thing. I will insert a value at the maybe I will insert a value to third this third I will insert a value to the third index and I will print the changed list and then I will remove it. I'll remove the added value, so and I will again print the list. So so this insert function will add it over here. It will add it in 0 1 0 1 2 3. It will add it in place of this. So basically it will happen like 474. It will add it here. Okay, and then we'll print it and then we'll again remove it 474. So again we'll remove it and print it. So let's see. I will remove this here. So yeah, so this 474 was added at the third index. You can see 0 1 2 3 and the values to the right of it were shifted to +1 index, and then again I removed it and I showed it to you. Okay, so this insert and remove is clear, I expect. So here I will just there is one more thing you can do. So there is a function named as pop. So the pop will remove the last value. The pop will remove the last value of the list. For example, I will do youtube.pop and I will print YouTube and I will show it to you. So the last value of it was removed and then I print it. So what will happen if I give this dot pop here? So what will happen if I print this? I will just I will put the function and print it at the same place. So you see. So actually, so I will show it to you. Print YouTube and I will remove this because yeah. So print youtube.pop. So it removed the last value and it printed the removed value. So if we enclose this in a print, then it will print the removed value and then it printed the updated list. So this is basically the pop. There is also one more thing we can do with the pop one. For example, we want to remove an element by index. We want to remove maybe the third or maybe the second index. For example, I want to remove comment. I want to remove comment from the list. So I will just do this and here you go. The comment is removed. So the removed value came out was printed when we put it in the enclose and print function, and then the updated value was updated list was printed. Okay. What will happen if we do dot clear? So dot clear will basically remove all the values of the list. So we'll do YouTube dot clear and we'll print it. So we'll add another print function. So I first defined the list, then I printed this list, then I cleared the list. Matlab all the values of this was removed. That means the list became empty. Okay, so the list became empty and then I printed it. So I'll show you. Okay, here. So print YouTube. So this was I printed this YouTube and then I cleared the list for it. Okay, and for example, there is one more you can do. Maybe I will add a print and I will give you a YouTube dot index and I will give you maybe 2. Is not unless okay I got it. So I will just show you 1 minute. Subscribe. Here you go. So what this index does, so YouTube dot index subscribe means it gives the index value of the subscribe of the subscribed value. Okay, so it just gives the subscribe is in the 0th index, so it just printed that. So that is for index, and there is one more thing called as count. So count just so what the count function does, count function just returns count function just returns how many times the value, count function returns how many times the value is in the list. For example, I give subscribe, maybe I will give 3 times. 1 minute. Subscribe, maybe I will give subscribe 3 times, I will give 3.9 2 times, and I will give uh, uh, 21 4 times. Okay, so I just give this and let's print. So I will print uh, YouTube dot count YouTube dot count, yes, subscribe. So you saw subscribe appears 3 times here, so it printed the subscribe. Let me try with 3.9. So 3.9 this, and 3.9 appears 2 times, so it gives 2 times, so it gave it 2 times. And if I do 21, it should show 4 times. So I will do one more thing. I will just append, maybe I will append like to the YouTube, like to this YouTube list, and then I will print the count of like. So it should actually return 2 because it printed this because it it added one more like to this list. So it already, this list already has a like, but it added one more like to this list. So let's see what happens. So it should return 2. Yes, so it returned 2. Now we will come with dot we'll deal with the reverse function. So I will show you what is the reverse function does. So reverse, here you go. 1 minute. Okay, I will do one thing. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So this reverse function, reverses the value of the list. For example, the first value becomes the last value. The last this will come second last. This will come third last. This will come fourth last, fifth last, sixth last, seventh last, eighth last, ninth last, and so on. Okay, so I reverse this and then I print this. But if you put this full thing in the print function, it will not show you anything. It will show you none. Okay, because it doesn't return anything, it just reverses the value. Okay, so this is the reverse function, and there's one more thing remaining, which is the copy function. So for example, let me declare another list. So for example, I will name the list as Python. I will name it as Python, and I will do YouTube dot copy. And so if I print the Python this, so it basically just copied, this list, the YouTube list, and it just assigned it to the Python value, and we just printed the Python. So now one more thing is remaining, sort. So I will just show sort, and I will just show you what it is. Okay, so I'll just first explain to you the what is the meaning of sort, then I will tell you why this error actually. Okay, yeah. So the sort, just for example, we have a list which consists of only integers or decimals. So it will sort the value. For example, we have a list maybe as 32451. Yes, so example, we have 32451, we have the list, so it will sort it. It will give 1 2 3 4 5. So I will just show it to you. For example, we have 32451. Okay, and then I give YouTube dot sort. Let me see what happens. So you can see 1 2 3 4 5, it just sorted the value. Okay, so if we add here 3.5 maybe, and I will give this here, so it will show 1 2 3.5 4.5. You can do this with very huge values also, maybe 999 something, like I'll just remove the R maybe, and here I was just typing it, I'm just not even seeing it what I'm typing, and here I just gave such big values, then it will sort it. So yeah, it's basically for sorting. Okay, so I will just revert that because this big values are actually, yeah. So so for example, if you want to print it in the reverse way, meaning we want to print, instead of printing in the ascending order, we want to print it in the descending order. So for example, we want to print it as 5 4 3 2 1, we don't want to print it as 1 2 3 4 5. So for that we will just give youtube.sort reverse equal to true. Okay, so if we give it true, it will print 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, it will print 5 4 3 2 1. And if we give it false, actually there's no point in then the reverse function. If we give it false, if we give it false, then it will print this one. Okay, so true, yes, and yes. So there's one more thing which is actually very similar to the sorted function, which is actually there's one more function named sorted. The function we learned was sort, but now I will tell you about sorted. So the sorted doesn't update the list actually. Okay, the sorted doesn't update the list. For example, if we did youtube dot sort, then it made the list to, it instead of, it converted the list to 1 2 3 4 5. But this sorted will just print the sorted value, but it will not update the list. Okay, so I will just print this so you can see. Yes. So the sorted just sorted the list in the ascending order and printed it, but it didn't update the list, because if it would update the list, then even this would print 1 2 3 4 5. Now with the sorted, if you want to print it in descending order, then after YouTube we will add comma, and we will give reverse equal to true, and let's, so it will be, if we give reverse equal to false, it will so if we give it true, and run it, so it will print 5 4 3 2 1 in the descending order. But if we give it false and then we run it, it will give in the ascending order. Okay, so you learn, so there is one more function. So you learnt about the reverse function. Okay, so there is so like the sort had the sorted function, like that the reverse has the reversed function. So it will just do this reversed, and it will just simply, it will just reverse the value. Matlab instead of 3 4 2 5, okay, what's this, 1 minute, let me check. This is something rude. Okay, now I know. Now I know. 1 minute. This. Yeah. No. Print list. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah. So the print list reverse YouTube. So the print list reverse YouTube just reversed the list and printed it, but it didn't actually update the list. Okay, but with the reverse, it's compulsory to give this list. It is compulsory to convert it to list by giving this list function. Okay, so it is that. So for example, there is one more function called as list, which can convert any value to list. For example, if we give it, maybe I will just make a value maybe as num equal such a long value, and if we give print list num, okay, I give it as print list num. So 1 minute. Okay, it does work with integer actually. I will just give it a string value. So if we give this print list num, and this num is a string, it will just separate this into list, but again it will not update the num value. Okay, so in this we can also give uh, integer inside the string, so it will print it like this, but these values are actually integers. Now, so yeah, so that's all. So thank you for watching this video. So I will just revise what the functions we learned. So I will just revise what we learned today. We learned how to declare a function and we how to define a function. We learned about the what are the indexes in a list in Python. We learned how to print the individual values of a list. We learned about the append function, extend, insert, remove, pop, clear, index, count, sort, reverse, and copy function, and how we can use the list function to convert anything to a list, to convert string to a list. So so yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for so yeah that's all. So thank you very much for watching my videos. I hope you liked my videos. Please like, share, subscribe, and come and give a good comment to all my videos. Thank you and goodbye. See you later in my next video.